Hello children. So now let us see. I hope you understood this. Now let us learn animal tissues in detail. How many types of animal tissues are there? Let us once see. Animal tissues are epithelial tissues, and then you have connective tissue, and then you have muscular tissue, and then you have nervous tissue. Epithelial tissue. How many types of epithelial tissues are there? Let us see. You have squamous epithelial tissue, stratified columnar epithelial tissue, columnar tissue, cuboidal tissue, epithelial tissue, and then glandular epithelial tissue. Now let us see how many types of epithelial tissues are there. Squamous epithelial tissue. Where do you find the squamous? Squash. Remember, they look like flat, very flat, pressed, delicate, and usually are seen on the lining of the lungs, lining of the alveoli, lining of the intestine. Every lining of an organ, the delicate lining, you see squamous epithelial tissue. And how are they? They are flat. If you observe the textbook, they are very flat like this. And of course, because they are epithelial, they are protective in nature. What do? Their major function is for protection. They are coverings of delicate coverings of inner linings of organs. So squamous epithelial tissue, stratified columnar epithelial tissue you see in skin, particularly in skin, on skin. On your skin you can observe that they are stratified epithelial tissue. Stratified epithelial tissue is again for protection, and it is much more, it is also delicate, but it is far better. It can it's like almost it can bear a little extra pressure, it can bear a little extra heat and cold and all that. But when compared to the internal protective tissue, epithelial tissue is not just on the outer coverings, it is there inside the body also. Like every organ is covered with that, every tubule, every small tissues inside are also covered with this epithelial tissues. So stratified columnar epithelial tissue you find on skin. And then columnar epithelial tissue is there everywhere where you can find secretions. The name itself tells that it is columnar. It is like this, they are columnar, like columns they will be. Okay, they are also protective only, but their extra function is they secrete certain for example in kidneys, glomerulus and all that tubular secretions, the secretions are conducted by them. And even the small intestine secretions and all, columnar epithelial tissue is there. Wherever secretions are there, remember columnar epithelial tissue. Okay, and then cuboidal, the name itself says that it looks like a cuboid. It is also, its function is also protection only, but where are they present? They are present in the they are actually for support. Its function is actually for support more than protection. It gives a kind of support to the organs. Maybe it will lift the organ and hold it tight. So cuboidal epithelial, the shape is cuboid. This is columnar. And next, glandular. Glandular name itself tells that it is present in the glands. What are the different glands? Pituitary gland, adrenal gland, liver is also a gland. That means in these glands it is present. Glands usually release what? Hormones. That means it helps in the hormonal secretions. It is like almost the epithelial tissue folding itself, folding into itself. This glandular epithelial tissue is found. So I hope you understand. Once again, let me say, epithelial tissue, how many types of epithelial tissue are there? Squamous epithelium, stratified columnar. Squamous epithelium is there on the every lining of a delicate lining of an organ. Okay, and stratified columnar epithelium is on the skin. All the skin part is made up of stratified epithelium. In that you might have observed that hair follicles will be there, and then sebaceous glands will be there, and all that. Of course they are all there, but what is it made up of? Stratified columnar epithelium. And then next one is columnar. Columnar, it looks like columns. It looks like columns, and major function of it is for secretion. Like in kidneys, the secretions, tubular, peritubular network secretions and all secretions are there. There you find this columnar epithelial tissue. And then you have cuboidal. The name itself says that it looks like a cuboid. Cuboid means what? The three-dimensional rectangular shape, three-dimension, cuboid. It looks like that. And what is the major function of it? Is for support. It is for support. And then comes glandular. Glandular is the epithelial tissue folding into itself. And then it is present usually in almost all the glands. I told you thyroid gland, pituitary gland, pineal gland, parathyroid gland, salivary gland, liver, pancreas, what else? Adrenal gland. Oh, I told so many glands names. So it is there. And what is its function? If it is there in glands, it means that it is releasing a kind of hormones. It is secreting hormones. So this is a clear, like an idea about epithelial tissue. You have any more doubts? Once go through your textbook, children. So if that is clear, now let us go to connective tissue. It's not that easy to explain connective tissue. Epithelial tissue is easy for us to understand, but remember once again, there are 5 types of epithelial tissue. And then ciliary epithelial tissue is also there. I forgot about that. It is not mentioned in your textbook, I think. But ciliary, the name itself implies that hairs, cilia grow from that. In most of the animals you observe cilia. Cilia grows from ciliary epithelial tissue. So on the whole, how many did we get? 6 epithelial tissues we got. Fine. Now let us see connective tissue. The name, what does the name imply? I am going to write ciliary epithelial tissue here only. Hope you will understand. Ciliary epithelial tissue. Now connective tissue, connection. It helps in connecting. What will it connect? In our body, the organs are not separate. Fingers are separate, eyes are separate. Okay, eyes are separate, but how are they? They are inside the sockets, eye sockets. And how are they hanging? Are they simply hanging there, and when you move your head, the eyes are also happily moving about? They are held on. They are held on tightly. What is connecting them all together? For example, we all know that heart is here, lungs are here, stomach is here. Then suppose if I jump up and down, my stomach will fall down. If I jump up, the stomach will go up. Did it ever happen to you like that? Something is holding on to those organs to be present exactly in the place where they are. That means something is connecting them. That is one thing. Another thing is connecting. Suppose my heart is here, but it is pumping blood. It is connecting to all my body. And nerves are somewhere in my brain and spinal cord. From there they arise. They are connecting to all my body. And muscles are there, they are connected. I can't say that in my here these upper arm muscles are not in any way touched with my lower arm muscles, because they are both they had an argument and they fought with each other. Can I say that? Everything is connected. Bones are not happy with muscles because bones are acting too smart, like that. Can I say? Everything is connected. Now let us see how they are all connecting and how the organism is able to work with all these organ systems connected. That particular function is conducted by connective tissue. Now let us see how many types of connective tissues are there. And I have a weak memory, but I have a way of remembering things. I have a weak memory, but because I know I have a weak memory, I try to remember things in my own way. My way of trying to remember things is, now because 7 types are there, so connective tissue, because it is very important, how I remember is in alphabetical order. So how do I remember? First is adipose tissue. First thing is adipose tissue. Areolar tissue, areolar children, and then A after B, bone, no, blood, and then bone, and then C, cartilage, cartilage, and then ligament, and then tendon. Did I write all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, I did it. Now let us see. Adipose tissue. Now remember, adipose tissue, areolar tissue, blood, bone, cartilage, ligament, tendon. 7 connective tissues are there. And let us remember them in, I remember them in alphabetical order. You can remember as per your wish. Tomorrow in our next session, what we will do is, we will learn about that. Now you might have got a doubt, how come this blood come in between? That I will explain to you. Maybe from bone, cartilage, ligament and tendon you could understand. Adipose, areolar, blood. These 3, blood you know, adipose and areolar you don't know. So from these known to unknown and unknown to known, that interesting way we will learn now. Okay children, we will learn in our next lesson, next session. I am sorry, this is a second session. Thank you.